Hey guys, Hamster Wheel Gaming here with a new video, and today I'm going to give you a list of the gear that you should get in order to get ready for the entry-level raids such as Karazhan for your Balanced Druid. Please note that the gear I will be recommending are my personal choices, so there is a chance that you might disagree with me, and if you have a better item to suggest, then feel free to share that with me and other people in the comment section below. Before I begin, I would like to let you know that crafting gear is also considered to be best in slots, such as Spell Strike or Windhawk for Balanced Druid specifically. I will mention these in the video, and it's definitely a good choice to get these items. But yeah, I'm gonna try to focus on mainly on blue and maybe a few epics in this best in slot list. So here we go. Now for the headpiece, I've chosen this one, the Druidic Helmet of Second Sight. This is probably the best pre-epic item for druids, and the 3 sockets give you a lot of flexibility and add some extra hit rating in there, so it's definitely a good item to go for. The alternatives would be Spell Strike Hood that you get from tailoring, the Magnified Moon Specs from engineering, and the Wind Skill Hood from leatherworking. Okay, the necklace would be the Torque of the Sethekk Prophet. So I've talked about this item before in my Gearing Up Your Clothy video, and basically the quest that will give you this necklace is bugged and it's instantly complete. So it's a simple matter of flying to the quest giver and getting your necklace. Not only is it incredibly easy to get this necklace, it's also pretty damn good because it has a decent amount of intellect and a lot of crit. My alternative would be the Brooch of Hidden Potential that drops in Shadow Labs. For the shoulders, I've chosen the Spaulders of the Tornheart. Just like the Druidic Helmet, I personally think that this is the best pre-epic item in the game, not only for druids but for casters in general. A decent amount of crit and a massive 40 spell damage make this item amazing. My alternative for this shoulder item would be the Lunar Claw Pauldrons, since they are, leather items. Okay, the chest would be the Robe of the Crimson Order. So this is a BOE item that you'll likely have to buy from the auction house, but it isn't too expensive. I've bought mine for only 30 gold, and that 30 spell hit makes it really worthwhile. The alternatives that I will give you are the Windhawk Hauberg, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and the Tunic of the Night Watcher. Okay, bracers. For bracers, I've chosen the Bracers of Havoc. This is another BOE item, but this item will probably last you a long time since it has a big amount of spell damage for blue bracers, and that extra socket is really handy. I've actually seen bracers in Karazhan, which I consider to be worse than these, so this is a good item to go for. The alternatives are Windhawk bracers and Shathra wraps. Okay, the weapon, the Bringer of Death. This is another BOE item, and this is the item that, in my opinion, any level 70 caster should get if they intend to do heroics or Karazhan. It has a nice amount of spell damage and a lot of crits, and it's not too expensive. I mean, right now on the Phoenix server they're about 30 to 40 gold, so it's a great staff and it's easy to get. The alternatives would be the Tarok Shadow Staff from Sethekk Halls, and the Auchenai staff, which you can get from getting revered with the Aldor. Now for the idol, I only have one idol to really recommend you, which is the Ivory Idol of the Moon Goddess. So when it comes to Balanced Druid, there's only really one that you should go for. I mean, there is the Idol of the Moon, which is a BOE. That only really increases the damage of your Moonfire, and you'll be casting Starfire a lot more. So yeah, this is pretty much the only item that's really, really handy and that you should go for. So yeah, there you go. Okay, for the trinkets, first one I'm going to recommend is the Scryer's Blood Gem. So as a caster, or more specifically as a boomkin, I recommend you to go Scryer instead of Elder for basically 2 reasons, and this is one of them. There are very few trinkets in the game that give you spell hit, and since spell hit is one of the most important stats for casters, you should definitely get this trinket as your first one. Now, as for your second trinket, I'm going to give you 2 options. First of all, Xeri's Gift. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Xeri's Gift. This trinket is obtained by getting revered with the Shatar, and if you hand in Arcane Tomes for Scryer Rep, you will also get Shatar Rep. If you get exalted with Scryers for the Ring, which I will mention in a moment, you will likely be also revered with the Shatar, which means if you hit exalted with Scryer, you will have earned yourself a free trinket. So that's pretty damn nice. The second choice is obviously better than the Shattered trinket since it has a massive amount of passive spell damage, but it is very time consuming to get this one. You'll have to get 41 badges, which means you'll be doing heroics a lot, but then again there's a big chance that you'll probably run some heroics before you'll start doing Karazhan, so it isn't that much trouble to get and it's just really awesome. Okay, for the rings I've chosen the next two items. First one is pretty obvious because it has that wonderful color, purple. The Seer's Signet is the second reason that you should go Scryer, since it is amazing. It's a shame that it doesn't have some intellect, but other than that, this ring is perfect for a beginning raider. The second one is a BOE that you'll have to buy from the auction house, which is the Band of Dominion. But considering it has a good amount of spell damage and crits, it's worth getting, and it's also not that expensive. I've bought mine for about 40 gold, if I remember correctly. My alternatives would be the Scintillating or Scintillating Coral Band and Ringo's Band of Ingenuity. Okay, for the boots I basically have two boots to recommend. First of all, the Shathra Jumpers, which are pretty good, and the extra sockets give you some extra flexibility and allow you to get a bit more spell hit. Also, you get these boots by doing a quest, which means you don't have to worry about the item dropping from a boss or losing the roll against someone else. So that's pretty nice. The other boots are more oriented for druids since they're leather. They have mana every 5 seconds and extra crits, which is really nice. But in the end, both are fine, so you can go for either one of these. Okay, for the leggings, I've chosen the Tempest leggings for Horde and the Kurenai kilt for Alliance. So this item requires you to get revered with either the Magar for Horde and Kurenai for Alliance. And it will take you some time to complete it, but I consider this to be the best pre-epic item for druids in the game. The massive amount of spell damage and 3 sockets allow you to get lots of spell damage, crit, and even some spell hit from just one item. It's a shame that it doesn't have any stamina and only a little bit of intellect, but still, it's an awesome item. The alternative I have to this one is the Spell Strike Pants. Okay, the waist, I'm going to recommend 2 items here, and I'm going to start off with the Moon Rage Girdle, which as you can see has Moonkin written all over it. My other recommendation is the Sash of Sealed Fate, which is also an item you can buy from the auction house. The only problem is that this item can get pretty expensive. I mean, I've seen them for around 50 gold on a good day, and I've seen them for around 130 gold on a bad day. So it really depends on how much someone is selling this item for. The alternatives for the belts are the Windhawk belt and the Girdle of Ruination. Okay, we're at the last item, the gloves. My first choice are the Gloves of Oblivion, basically because it has a good amount of spell hit, which is quite rare for gloves, so this is a good item. My second choice are the Starlight Gauntlets, and they are obviously more balanced druid oriented. Just like the Gloves of Oblivion, they are a great item to go for, and they will be a good addition to your gear. Okay, that's pretty much it for my pre-Kara guide for balanced druid when it comes to gear. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that I was able to help you figure out what gear you should get in order to get ready for some raiding. As I said in the beginning of the video, I'm always open for suggestions for other items, and if you have one, feel free to let me know in the comments below. My name is Hamsterwheel Gaming, and have a good one.